Me and Rastov had a hour and 45-minute conversation with CD-ROM last night, trying to convince him to do the right thing. And there was multiple things that we wanted him to do, which I don't know if we'll say here. Maybe we'll save that for a little bit later. He has decided to not do the right thing. He sent me a text message saying that he will forfeit any money that's owed. He understands that he's the one that actually owes me money because of all the damages that he causes. And he has blocked all of us. Yeah, he admitted that. Whoa. He's blocked all of us and doesn't want any communication from us, doesn't want to hear from us ever again. And that was after he prayed. He prayed for that.
Fucking
prick. Fuck that cocksucker.
Let's just say it, Rastov. Fuck it. Fuck it at this point. You know what me and Rastov wanted him to do? We wanted him to do real accountability, an exit interview, admit his mistakes, and to call the fucking police.
Yeah.
And file a police report. He is the only one that knows this guy's government name, where he lives. He knows his parents, where his parents lives. He knows everything to call the cops, file a police report, and protect these kids. And all CD-ROM did is not protect the kids.
No.
Not stop this guy. Bro, go ahead, right? I can't even speak.
I'm
so mad.
So he fucking told us ages ago, right, when we first talked to him, that if I knew what Starman was actually doing, I would have put an actual stop to it. So he said to us on this phone call that he now understands what he was actually doing. And we were like, so you're going to the cops, right? And he said, why would I go to the cops? I don't think he deserves jail. I think he deserves something else. And it's like, no, bro, you have a moral obligation, you sick fuck, to go to the fucking police.
This is the conclusion that we needed. He is fucked in the head. CD-ROM is fucked in the head. And now I understand why people think he's a PDF as well. These actions don't make sense. His friends are PDFs.
Literally said to him, like Keem said, you know, you owe me money, but at the very least, you have to go to the police. Do the interview, don't do the interview. But at the very fucking least, you have to notify the fucking police.
That's all he had to do? Like, he didn't actually have to come back for an interview at all?
We gave him like fucking 50 million fucking options, but the one thing we said was, go to the police.
He now knows and admits his friend is a pedophile. Yeah. He kept referring to his friend as, oh, he made some mistakes in his past. We're like, no, he's a pedophile. He kept saying, well, I know he made poor choices. No, we're not going to call that poor choices. We're going to call him a pedophile. That's what we're going to call him. And he admitted that his friend is a pedophile and still is refusing to do the right thing by notifying the authorities.
And he said, well, I don't know any of the victims. I'm like, well, you saw that fucking test, interviewed one of the victims, so you do know them now. And he was like, well, I mean, I regret that one, but, you know, like, what am I going to do?
He now knows 100% that the pedophile's parents were lying to him and manipulating him and using him. And you know what he said about that last night? He goes, well, they're like family to me, though. So? They're protecting a pedophile.
He still tried to treat us like we were fucking evil. The whole time he was acting like we wanted to bring him back, and we were like, let us make this perfectly fucking clear to you. You are never coming back. We don't want you back. We want you to give fucking people closure and call the police.
This man sat there and prayed all night for the last 24 hours. And after talking to a so-called God, he decided to not call the police. He has made the wrong moral decision over and over and over again. And this is a man of fucking God. The God that you're praying to is Satan, CD. You are worshiping Satan, you sick demon fuck.
It was the most fucking frustrating conversation I've ever been a part of in this universe. And like, he was just so fucking aggressive the whole time, defensive, just fucking angry at us. Like, it's like, bro, like we literally tried to give you an opportunity to help you, like fucking fix the problem for yourself. And he's like, well, you know, but you chose to fucking defend this guy. And when so when he found out all of this stuff, all right, he called Starman's parents and told them to tell him to lay low.
Yeah, he called Starman's parents and said, hey, tell Starman to just lay low. The LCU has a low attention span. They'll be on to something else soon. Yeah. Look, dude, he thinks that me and Rastov are meanies and not his friends or were his friends or whatever because we pick on him. That's it. He thinks the pedophile is his friend because the pedophile calls him by the right pronouns.
Yeah. He literally said, Keem, you were mean to me because you told him to shut the fuck up once and like stop talking.
Rastov, doesn't it feel like when we're on those phone calls with him for an hour and 45 minutes, doesn't it feel like we're on a prank show? It doesn't seem real.
It doesn't make sense. No. And the thing is, you catch him, you would literally catch him in bullshit, right? You would catch him in what he was saying and he'd be like, well, what do you want from me? I think the reason he doesn't want to go to the cops is he doesn't want to be the one responsible for putting his fucking friend away.
He's got a lot of evidence, like with him being with the guy for so much of this. I think he's worried that he might get in trouble as well.
Dude, I honestly, at this point, the only person that would act this way is someone that is personally guilty of something. Like, yeah, I can only come to that conclusion. None of this makes sense unless he has more to hide. CD himself has more to hide. I'm sorry, Rastov. That's the only conclusion I can come to.
I agree with you.
Is there any evidence of PDF stuff with CD directly? No, there isn't. I want to make that clear. But he acts like there is. Like he's hiding something. Why protect these monsters? It makes no sense. Like this is a guy that's explaining, like we've said multiple times, he's a man of God and he believes in right and wrong, but he does the most wrong thing ever, right? Like knowing that this guy is a danger to kids and not doing anything to stop him. It makes us think like, oh my God, like CD might be a monster as well. I can only jump to that wild conclusion.
This is how frustrating this conversation was, right? So he would say like, well, Starman's, he's autistic and he's got all these problems. We'd be like, okay, does his parents have these problems? And then he'd be like, okay, what do you guys actually want from me? Like, he literally couldn't fucking admit any actual fault. Like, yeah, bro, this dude's parents of clear sound, like fucking sound mind are defending it. He's still on the internet. Yep. Like,
it's more than that. We know from the exit interviews on Test and everywhere else that Starman isn't like a disabled autistic. He's a highly functioning autistic, and he's clearly manipulating these children. He's like, oh, you're my girlfriend. Oh, I'm mad at you. Change your avatar. He's playing mind games that you would do like guys and girls do when you're flirting with each other. He's doing this with children. He's an actual predator that needs to be locked up. And who knows where Starman lives? CD-ROM. Who knows Starman's government name? CD-ROM. Who knows Starman's parents, what their number is, where they live? CD-ROM. And CD-ROM, after mountains of evidence over the course of almost a decade, refuses to report a known predator to the police. I'm sorry, CD. It's game over. And it's going to extend much farther than this. We gave you a chance, and we handed you a rope, and you decided to fucking swing by it.
We asked him if he actually made any mistakes, right? And he said, the only mistake I really made was the way I spoke about Iris, right? And then later on in the conversation, because he apparently didn't know that she was actually a victim. Later on in the conversation, we were like, why do you think Iris was so upset with Starman? Because he was trying to do that whole thing saying that she was attacking him and all this other shit. And he was like, well, I'm pretty sure she was just mad because he broke up with her. And like, we were like, so you did know. He talks himself into a hole because he's lying. When we were like, you have to go to the police, he was like, well, what's that going to do for me? And I was like, well, you leave it to the cops at that point. You just have to let them know that this is the information. Like it's I'm not in Canada. Like that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. Like you can still tell them. So I asked him, I was like, do your parents know about this? And he said, they do now. And I said, why didn't you tell them 12 years ago? And he said, well, it's not their business. I'm like, why is it their business now? What do you want from me? What do you want from me? To go to the cops. He is an accomplice. He's literally helping him. He's basically guarding the door while this guy is inside. He tried to say that like Keem was a bad person and like evil and that CD would see him in hell and shit like that. And he's like, bro, I invited you into my house. Like, I invited you to the most special day. Only people I trusted. Like, it was a big deal. I said to him, I was like, you have to take the humanity out of us because it's the only way that you can justify what you've done. You have to dehumanize us. If you allow these feelings and like all this other shit to be true, then you have no way to defend yourself. I just couldn't believe that his reaction to like all of the, because he was like, I hate nerds. and I hate Nightmare. And we were like, bro, they brought this to light. They're the ones that opened your eyes, remember? The reason that you think things are bad now is because they brought this shit to light. He was like, well, what do you want from me? Anytime you fucking catch him out, well, what do you want from me? What are we doing here?